Hello, my name is Leo. Welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Argentina. We've been focusing a lot on Congo recently because we've got a colony there. Oh, rule folk is no longer upset. There we go. So that tech spread is back to 146 max. Oh boy, that's pretty decent. But we are fairly good in terms of our prestige right now. We are still definitely behind Brazil. They've got a 453, but we are catching up. Our GDP is definitely a bit lower than theirs. They've got almost twice as high as we do. Of course, for us, it's one of the big things has been that we've been fighting a lot against secessions in Africa. And actually, I am going to build that bloody railway, even if it's the last thing that I do. So now we've got 20 weeks, or 23 weeks to build it, and that will hopefully give us a lot more transportation in the state. And of course, every time that we do a fight in here, that will reduce the standard of living a little bit. But it's now 8.9. I'm pretty sure that that will start increasing. There's a bit of devastation still. I suppose since we've had two uprisings there, because there's two main pops in here. Oh, and there's the colony again continuing on. Good. So we didn't stop the colonization completely, at least. We've got a bit of work to do here, that's for sure. Wait a minute. Annex Austro-Hungarian Congo. Oh. Okay, so Austro-Hungary is trying to get rid of one of their colonies over here. Interesting. Do we have a more... Oh, yeah, we can declare another interest. I'll go ahead and declare that on, I don't know. We'll put one in Rhine. That way we can at least do diplomacy and trading with North Germany. Oh, the French have done a landing in Britain. Oh dear. Well, that might not be all that good for our market's economy, let's put it bluntly, but I think we'll be mostly fine. Because we've got a fairly independent economy most of the way. Of course, the market access might be a bit of a problem at times, although I think the British fleet is still fairly strong, so I'm not too worried about it. Our first power plant is going to be in Buenos Aires in 6 weeks. That'll be quite handy. And the furniture manufacturer is fully employed in here, so at least things are improving. The standard of living is already 10.2. Population is still fairly high, over 800,000. But there's a lot of work available. Oh, there's the Rhine interest activated, good. So is there... What do we have? Mass conscription, enact technocracy. Oh, there's not a lot of support for it, mind you, but they are at least someone supporting. Yeah, this Betty Porter is supporting it. Or Council probably. I don't really want to push either one of those, quite frankly. Industrialists are still fairly powerful, but they're not in power right now. Our first set of power will be done very, very shortly. I think another thing that one might want to do is to start building a bit more universities to get the innovation or the tech. Well, I suppose innovation and then also the tech spread might be improved a bit further as well over time. We'll get another university in Mendoza. We could get another one in Tucumán as well, and maybe in Santa Fe we'll get one in there as well. So that's going to be 3 universities. That's going to be quite a bit extra innovation. That should get us over 100 at least. That might allow us to catch some of the European nations in tech, at least to some degree. I don't think we'll be catching up them completely, but I think we've got at least a lot better chance of getting to like a few techs behind them rather than 10 techs behind them. But we'll need to increase the innovation a lot more than that to actually catch up to them. Right, so is the railway done? No, 7 more weeks. At least there's no secession movement quite yet, although now that I say that, I suppose technically speaking there's no... since we had the 2 secessions in there, the turmoil is basically nothing right now. And... well, there is quite a bit of radicals, no doubt, from there, but I suppose the radical numbers have dropped fairly decently. So I suppose now that there's no turmoil, there might actually be a little bit of, well, there's no migration there right now. The British market is still a little bit too small, or the market access isn't quite full. So the floating harbour is going to be in about 2 months' time. We'll have it already. Oil on the British market is a bit high. There's quite a few states where the minimum expense standard of living does not get met yet. Oh, we got a decision. Oh, skyscraper. Oh, but that's going to require a whole lot of bureaucracy. Okay, we may need to start building a lot of government administration in places. Okay, at least one over there. Start building some in Tucumán as well. We'll build 2 over there. And then Patagonia, you can get 1. Maybe even 2. But if we get a skyscraper in Buenos Aires, that'd be brilliant. Okay, the railway is about to be completed. And then we're going to start focusing more on the power plant. So we did get the power already in our capital. It's not in a huge demand right now, but if we were to put in the electric sawmills in there, So 35 electricity, how much can it produce? I think it's 50, wasn't it? Yeah, it's 50 that it can produce if it's fully employed, which it isn't right now. We could actually go ahead and go publicly trade with the power plants as well. In the face of revolution, policemen chasing rumors of an allegedly planned communist uprising in Alta Paraguay have stirred significant fear among the area's public. All skeptics decry the disturbance as terrorism in itself. If it doesn't materialize, then we'll have done our jobs. So, low strata have become more radical in Alta Paraguay, and a bit more discrimination happening in there. Yeah, we'll go with that. Right, so next week we'll have the floating harbor. And I don't know which one's going to start spreading after that. I mean, there's a lot of options, but entering to tier 4 over here as well now. In society text, we're still in tier 3, so there's only 2 possible text to spread in there. And there's the floating harbor now. And that unlocks the... It's more max port level. Ooh, rubber discovered in Pegu. Well, that's not in our areas, to be fair. What is it spreading? Oh, trench work. Oh, yes, I want that. Trench infantry is going to be probably the thing to beat Brazil in a fight. I don't know if they've gotten trench infantry already, though, but I guess we can check that. They've got skirmish infantry at least in here. I guess if you have a look at the capital, that's probably going to be the most reliable. No, they've got lancers, shrapnel artillery, skirmish infantry. So, once we get the trench infantry, we can probably get that. Oh. Alright then. So, we're getting 2 power plants, one in Cordoba, one in Mendoza. That'll slowly get better and better. And then we are going to build a whole lot of government administration and universities. But that is also going to give us a lot more bureaucracy. We might go ahead and... Actually, we can't incorporate this state right now since we are colonizing. But the British market isn't 100% in here again. There isn't a huge amount of... Oh, right, we've got a whole lot more infrastructure available as well. So that's definitely helping. And they are hiring a lot of people. It's not really fully profitable in here yet, but the amount of transportation that we produce is better. So we could go ahead and maybe... Let's see, the rubber plantation, we'll go ahead and put rail transportation there. To reduce the workers needed there. So that's going to free up a little bit workers for other buildings. Similarly, the logging camp is something that we'll probably go ahead and fix at some point. We could go for the steam... No, we don't really want to go for the steam donkey there. Oh, well, they're building a motor industry in here. No, they were building a motor industry in here, I think. But then that got cancelled. One way or the other. Alright then, well, power plants, that's the second power plant now completed. So that was in Cordoba. There's logging camps in here as well, so we could turn these into electric sawmills to provide a bit more cheap wood, or cheaper wood. Because that will kind of kickstart the power plant operations, so there will be at least some use for it. I suppose we could also put in the electric street lights in here. That will require quite a bit of electricity. Save us a bit of coal, provide a whole lot more services, and more infrastructure. It barely doubled the infrastructure available. We might go ahead and build a second power plant level in here. I suspect that it will be required, but that's at least providing a lot more work for the people in here. And we've got a good income of £7,500 per week right now. We did already reduce the taxes to the high taxes instead of the very high taxes. Ooh, power discovered. Okay. There's a bit more rubber being discovered in places, but not in our territory. Except, I suppose we've got the Africa rubber over here, so that's at least something. We're producing 120 in here. How much is their total? So there's still Right, so the deficit is almost 3,000 on rubber right now on our market. I think it might be actually worthwhile to import some. Okay, from Mexico, they've got a little bit rubber available, although the price... No, that's not really that much worthwhile. Okay. There's just not a lot of rubber production in general, I suppose. So the private sector, in the meanwhile, is getting some wheat farms, explosive factories, munitions, motor industries, glassworks, paper mills. So a lot of industry. We've got already 24 million GDP. We're number 16 worldwide. We are still a bit behind in prestige, no doubt. Let's have a look at prestige, actually. So Brazil's got 480, so there's still quite a difference in there. I suppose one of the things that... Oh, okay, someone exiled from Russia. We could go ahead and increase the army size, especially this bigger one already. We'll get another 5 artillery, I think. It's going to be a little bit expensive, but that will allow us to have a bit more troops against Brazil. Because we've got a fairly low relation... Actually, how is the relations with Paraguay right now? Cold. They've been bankrolled by USA. So I could return state from them. Brazil would probably help them. I don't know if I'd be able to get other nations to join on my side. But we'll wait until we get the trench infantry for that. It's no point in trying to gamble again and just lose a lot of money. Or worse. Before we have that. Because at that point, at least we'll have fairly good troops. And I think we'll have better troops than a lot of our rivals will. Not necessarily for long. So as soon as we got the troops upgraded, we need to go ahead and start expanding. But that will definitely start reducing the enemy damage on us a lot. Industrial barriers. Factories in Mendoza have been reported to be placing Patagonian people into roles with incredibly poor work conditions, owing to their status as second-class citizens in Argentina. This unequal treatment cannot stand. I think we need to still somewhat recognize that they are still citizens, and we need their input on the industries and all that. But we almost reached 9 million population. Now, to be fair, we're still quite a bit far behind on what modern-day population in Argentina is. I don't know how much they had in 1900. I haven't checked that one. Well, I did check that the modern-day population is around 45 million. I don't think we'll be reaching quite that high numbers, but I suspect that we can probably get to at least 20 million before the end of the game. If we get some good bits of colonization and all that, or migration especially. Oh, there we go, 71.8% literary rate, so that is already pretty decent. But that does also mean that there's going to be a whole lot of demand for the standard of living to be better, and it's probably not going to be much better. At least not yet. We've got 420 prestige. Oh, we've got 21 urban centers in here, but they're not really worthwhile. The services and the transportation prices are fairly low, and the price for electricity is high, so that's causing some issues there. There's a huge rubber shortage. Oh, we've got 4... Why do we have this many armies? We don't need these empty armies here. In fact, that third army can be disbanded. Oh, now we've got 2 armies over there. Well, that's fine. Or 2 generals over there for that army. But that's okay. So government administration in Congo is being completed. And that's going to start providing us with a bit more bureaucracy. But rubber discovered is Angola. Alright then. So how are we doing on the... Standard living is 11.4, so it's actually not that bad in here. The colony is slowly increasing, so I think we may have pacified the local population in here. So speaking of population, there hasn't been any Argentines moving in here yet, or any assimilation for that matter. But that's alright. It will maybe start taking place eventually. At least the colony over here on past Congo is slowly increasing. And we could get iron mines in here as well. I suppose there might be some demand for the iron, although actually most of it is just demanding steel, isn't it? Yeah, so there's not really that much demand for iron. At least yet. Wait, is this part of the same state? No, that's Kasai. What's, there's iron in there. It would be coal on this side, but we can't get there anymore. It would be coal down there, but that's probably beyond our reach. Oh, steam turbine unlocked. Oh. Alright then, let's go ahead and upgrade the power plants already, coal-fired power plants. It'll require a bit more engines, a lot more coal, but the amount of power that we produce is huge. Now, it will say that it's not profitable, but I don't care. We want the power available. And we'll go ahead and put street lights in here. That'll start providing even more service. Service price, I mean, we got the service tax going, and that is probably quite profitable right now. Actually, how much are we getting from that? 14 HAL. Okay, yeah, that's pretty decent. Tumultuous campaign. Was campaigning for the Free Trade Party in turmoil wrecked also Paraguay. Rafael Arauz has been attacked and brutally beaten by a group of unknown assailants. Get back to the trail right away, so he gets wounded. And plus 20% momentum. Or minus 20% momentum, he gets scarred. Get back to the trail right away. So Alto Paraguay is not really in a good shape here. The service price is very high. The transportation price is very high. Is that... No, we're not using transportation there right now, at least. We've got one livestock ranch. Well, that reminds me. Do we have a lot of extra power in here? We've got a little bit, but we could maybe go ahead and put in the electric fences in here. Reduce the employment on the livestock ranches a lot. Which might not be very helpful right now, but I'm sure that eventually it will be fine. So, I suppose over here, what could we do? There's not a lot of peasants. We could maybe get like Arts Academy or something. That might actually be a very kind of a smart way actually to increase the urbanization a little bit. It does not use infrastructure, at least not a full point. It doesn't employ too many people, but the extra 20 points of urbanization might be enough. And it's fairly high paying jobs, so it will improve the average standard of living in there at least. Plus, you know, there's definitely a demand for fine art in our market. Well, technically speaking, it's the British market, but we'll call it our market. Because that's what we do. Actually, how large of a portion are we of the market? Make 4.25%. To be fair, Britain is only 37%, so it's not that huge. It's just it's a very large market. Almost 25 million GDP. And the population is now about 9 million. Lacking just a tiny bit in there. At least we're getting more and more land in here. So is this population than Lund? Oh yeah, that's where we got the Lunda population from. Basco. I mean, it's a very small portion of the population. But it's better than high. Oh, intelligence has got a lot of clout in here. Good to know. Good to know. Now we're getting £9,000 per week already. How's the investment pool? It is actually growing again. We did go down to below 400,000 though before we started growing, so that's could be better, I suppose, but it's good enough for now. Ooh, rubber discovered in Eastern New Guinea. Alright then. None of our business really, but is there any more colonies that we could oh right, we could still do the colony down in here, the south, but I'll just let Chile take that. I don't really need that area that badly. There we are, that's another piece of Congo for us. We definitely need to increase the speed that we get that colony though. So how's the research coming along? Oh, actually, why is it spreading in society? No, society. Oh, hold on a minute. It's the production, so we'll get pneumatic tools. And then society, after corporatism, it's probably going to be the civilized mission. Which would then lead to malaria prevention, which would be rather handy. But we'll see which it starts researching on its own. We're going to get one more university, so that should get us to 100 points total. Innovation, so that's already pretty decent. We've got 12.8 standard of living now, so that's about the highest we've had it. Fruitful endorsement. In a gesture of solidarity with the National Civic Union, Nazar. Oh, it's a rural folk. I think it might be one of these. Aha, it's the agitator. Okay. As the currency supporters vote for it in the ongoing election. I'll just take the 30% boost in there. Oh, the legitimacy is pretty low. Okay. Plus, is there any laws that we could pass? Any meaningful laws that we want to pass? Compulsory primary school. Now, that would be actually quite handy. The armed forces support that. That would allow us to invest more in the education. Let's actually have a look at the institutions. We can't improve the levels in here right now. But then compulsory primary school would allow us to get the education to max. Get the literary rate even higher. To be fair, 72.4 is pretty decent. All discovered in Eastern New Guinea. Alright then. That reminds me, we needed to get some more oil, didn't we? Have we built any further oil fields in Santa Fe? We had 3 there. No, we haven't gotten any more. But there is a huge demand for it. So let's go ahead and build the remaining 2 there. No, we actually go for the tanker cars. Yeah, the transportation cost isn't that bad. Might as well take it. So that's actually not too bad. Now we're going to start getting a whole lot of bureaucracy. But we need that one to eventually incorporate the Congo state. Or maybe we don't incorporate it, but regardless. At least have that sort of underway. How's the standard of living there? It's 11.8. And it has increased. So the standard of living is getting better. And now that there's less of a problem from the... Oh, new president from the armed force. Okay. Oh yeah, a free trade party didn't get a lot of votes. So we could just go with the... Oh. No, we'll just keep this current one. I think that'll be better. So how's the armed forces now in total? They got 24%. Okay, and if they still support the compulsory primary school, they do. Industrial would oppose that. I'll try to pass it regardless. Oh, Armada has lost their leader. Convoy radar seems like a good idea. A bit reckless, but that's alright. And there we go. We've surpassed 9 million population. There hasn't been any mass immigration recently. I mean, there's probably still immigration coming in. It's just not that massive. The Argentines make 1.7 million in our capital. That's 2/3 of the entire population there. What about... That's still most of the platinum, but the Argentines are taking more and more land. Corporatism unlocked, so radicals of standard of living decreases in accepted culture is going down. That's actually quite handy. So what is the next tech spreading in there? It's one of these 2. I'm hoping that's a civilized mission. It is. Alright, let's go there. Let's trench works is going to be done within the year. So after that, we're going to upgrade our infantry, and then we are probably... let's slow out mass immigration to Buenos Aires. Oh, well, there we go. Just as I said that there hasn't been a mass immigration recently, suddenly we immediately have. So how much can we expect there to be people moving in? Oh, total culture in the country is at least 25%. Alright then, well, it's probably going to be a pretty good boost in population here. We've got 200,000 peasants though, so we may need to just go ahead and start increasing the things in here in general. Pro-Bolivia, unredacted, okay. We'll try to improve relations with them. Trade unions, rule folk, and intelligence here will oppose that, but we'll try to keep them as a sort of good, friendly neighbor at least. So we can use them as a assistance against Brazil. And then we can start maybe reducing Brazil's strength and all that. How much, if we have a look at the ledger. So Brazil's got 487 prestige. So we've got quite a bit of work to do to actually catch up to them. Now, they've got a lot larger GDP than we do. Although we are catching up to them. In the span that we've increased our GDP by like 3 billion, they've increased only 1 million. Because right now we're building a lot of the bureaucracy and such, which doesn't really improve our GDP all that much. The invisible cry. Due to the inhuman conditions that children face in their workplaces, many families in Buenos Aires have chosen to hide their offspring in the hopes of them not being sent to work. Children? What children? I also take that one. So that way, we'll be able to hopefully pass a compulsory primary school sooner rather than later. And then the literary rate will probably start increasing even further. I mean, it's already pretty decent in our core territories in here. For example, in Buenos Aires, the literary rate is 78%. Colonies down here are very, very slowly spreading. There's no buildings being built in here. I suppose there's not enough workers in the state in general, to be fair. Although we did get the... Okay, how much do we have production? We got a little bit more consumption than production for the transportation right now. At least got some services available as well, but that's not really enough either. Don't have power there, so we can't really reduce that further. But I suppose one of the things that we could do there is just build that motor industry, actually. Just to provide them a bit of extra engine, so we can then use the local engine production for various things. It's actually not a terrible idea. Of course, it's not going to be built anytime soon, mind you. But somewhere down the line, it will be. Oh, South German mass migration to Cordoba, okay. Well, I guess we're going to have quite an increase in the population. We're getting both, so which one was it in here? South Germans. And then we got Slovaks coming in here, so yeah, fair enough. Well, Europe's been a bit of a mess recently, to be fair. There's been a lot of wars going on and all that, so if they want to move in here and be relatively safe, at least for now, that's all good. So, 10 to 16 weeks for the trench works. And then, oh... Dangerous hours. Militon Saldias, a particularly prominent figure within the rule folk, has issued scathing accusation of communist infiltration within the Argentine press and government itself. 2% rule folk members pops in Argentina have been more loyalist, and trade unions accused of communism, or rule folk become more radical. Well, since the trade unions are not in power, it's easy to use them as a scapegoat. There we go. We got almost, well, approaching 1 million in gold reserves, which is going to be about 20% of what we could have. The investment pool is, well, it's still growing, but we can't really afford increasing the construction speed any further. What's this then? Kutai Peasant Revolt. Ah, okay. And grassroots support for the law. Yeah, we'll take the plus 20% chance. Means that that law will at least pass. And the colonies over here are slowly growing. I mean, suppose... colonial growth generated by us is only 3.4 right now. Probably will be improving over time, but it's not very quick yet. Partially because the malaria does make things quite more difficult. At least after the civilizing mission, we could get the malaria prevention. And that might be what we kind of need, quite frankly. But first, we're going to get the trench works. And that is also something that we desperately need. So we can start fighting wars. It's about time. We have increased the... Actually, no, we've got the 5 barracks being built now. So we'll have, what, 30 plus 20 for war against Paraguay, for example. If you've got the trencher infantry, then it's probably going to be fairly easy. And I suppose if we can get someone like Bolivia to join in that one, even if we need to give them Mato Grosso, for example, I'm okay with that. As long as it weakens Brazil, and then we might go ahead and take Rio Grande do Sul and probably Baja Paraguay. If I can get these two, that'll be good. We might eventually just, you know, let either Bolivia take care of Mato Grosso, Paraguay, or we conquer that ourselves. Ooh, this trench works. There we go. Right, at this point, let's go ahead and start upgrading our infantry. Probably going to be a little bit expensive to get all of those upgraded, but that's alright. There's another one, and I suppose we've got this one as well, which doesn't have a leader, but we can upgrade to trench infantry regardless. Probably going to be a little bit expensive, but that will probably increase our prestige quite a bit. What is it spreading now? Oh, bolt action rifle, okay. Not too bad of an idea, to be fair. That will allow us to use a bit, I believe it's a bit of oil, and then we can get more small arms produced. And then that will also open up the way to the automatic machine guns, which will be quite handy to have. But there's also the destroyers, among other things, that we might be unlocking. And there's a wargaming. Army offense 10%. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. But the bolt action rifle will be quite nice production method improvement. Also, did we unlock anything else with the trench works? Oh, it's the barbed wire fences, right. So, especially in states where we do not have electricity yet, we can still reduce the worker need over here. We'll actually do that, especially in Congo. I believe there was at least some livestock ranches. If we just put the barbed wire fences in there, we'll improve the production. We'll need a bit of iron, but we could actually produce iron in here locally. Probably not yet, but somewhere down the line. Also, so the malaria is reducing mortality outright, so that's why we're not really seeing people that don't have this as homeland moving in here. Well, I guess that's alright. There's a lot of Catholics, at least. Oh, and primary school progress to study, finally. Well, that's good. We're now getting the extra troops as well. Paraguay's improving relations. Okay, well, that's... It might be a bit too late for you. I suppose another option that I do have is I could declare war on... Oh, hold on a minute. Can I not do that? Oh, my relations with Spain. Hold on a minute. Are there a... They're protectors. Ah, okay. Well, that would make sense then. Temples of Humanity. Positivist Church of Argentina has petitioned to be allowed to construct additional church in Cordoba. Proposed Temple of Humanity will serve as an important node of positivist activities. There's no harm in it. More radicals from standard of living decreases, and influence of positivists would go up a little bit. Education, access, and qualification would go up though. Or, you know what, we'll take it for now. As long as we don't keep it or let it grow too high, we should be mostly fine. But the amount of army that we have now is improving. We're also starting to get better quality troops, so that'll be very handy. I don't know if it's already upgraded all of them. It may have, actually. Yeah, there's still the skirmish infantry in... Right, this one, I don't think this is actually going to be built anywhere. But it's just... I suppose we could actually just go ahead and remove that one entirely. Oh, no, it's... Oh, hold on a minute. Right, there we go. It's been built in here. Or maybe it's not being built at all. We're getting the artillery, but no, we've lost one in here. There we go, so that will be sorted. We don't have any ghost battalions there just spooking about. But anyway, the steel mills in Cordoba are about to be done. Speaking of steel mills, how's the steel... Oh yeah, there's pretty good prosperity in there. Same with the gold mines. Can't say the same for the railways, unfortunately. But it's probably just there's not enough demand for the transportation yet. Or we produce maybe a bit too much, let's be honest. Especially in the states where, like, in here, it's just not really a lot of demand. And the logging camp, oh, I suppose we could put in some demand for that. And I guess the plantations could get a little bit transportation. I don't know if the price of the transportation... Okay, it is going up a little bit now. So let's have a look. Did that improve the prosperity? It's a lot, slightly better. Would there be any, I don't think there's a lot of other options that we have right now, to be fair. Oh, we can actually change the names. That's good. Okay, well, that is one. How's this one? It's making a bit of profit now. But productivity is still fairly small. Okay, so in that case, let's go ahead and... the oil rigs, they already got the thing. Logging camp, you've already got the thing. Is there anything else? I suppose the dye plantation, that's already got the thing as well. Maize farm doesn't have an option for that. So that railway isn't really in huge demand, let's be honest. Well, I guess that's good enough. We're getting another level of the power plant in our capital, which might be a bit of an overkill right now. But I suspect that they will... Oh, this got within the intelligence, yeah. Sure, we'll take their support for the compulsory primary school. We've got a whole lot of industries in our capital to be paid. I mean, we've already got quite a bit of population. 2.8 million. Oh, wow. Hold on a minute. It was less than 2 billion not that long ago. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, get the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.